We are a rumor. Recognizable only as déjà vu and dismissed just as quickly. Time to prove yourself, Agent M. We may have a problem in London.
Welcome to MIB.
Well, then I lose it.
You will be with Agent H, one of the best ever to wear this suit.
Catching up on my daily meditation. Time for lunch, I think. You hungry?
It's 9:30.
Perfect. Tuesday's taco day.
Welcome to a Big Show Entertainment Network special event. Super Dave Raines and the Big Show on location here at the Regal Cinemas, United Artists, Colorado Center 9 and IMAX in beautiful Denver, Colorado. And I'm joined by my good friend from Generally Nerdy, the host of Generally Nerdy, Dustin James. And we are here on North American premiere night for Men in Black International, starring Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson. And we've got Rebecca Ferguson, Liam Neeson, and am I forgetting someone? Oh, Emma Thompson.
No, you said Tessa's the...
I know, but there's another Thompson, Emma Thompson. So,
That's right, okay.
Yeah, there's two Thompsons. But, no, we're pretty excited for this film. I'm a huge Men in Black fan. I have been since the first one. I just love the concept. You know, I'm a big sci-fi action and adventure kind of guy. So this Men in Black is just right up my alley. So, what do you think about the movie coming into tonight?
Coming into tonight, my expectation is that it at least has to be better than MIB 3. Because while it wasn't a horrible movie, it definitely was the weakest of the original trilogy. So that's what it had, the clout that it has coming into opening weekend is, can it at least tell a better story than that third movie did? And I honestly think it's in pretty capable hands. So I'm very anticipating a pretty good showing tonight.
Right. Wow, I actually liked Men in Black 3.
I didn't think it was bad. I just think of the rest of the movies with the other two, when you compare them, right, the third one is the weakest of the three.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, I think the second one is the weakest.
Yes. I don't know. We would have to talk about that probably off camera. But
a little disagreement here on Super Dave Raines and the Big Show. So, well, let me ask you. Men in Black. This is the fourth film, I believe. The first film was 1997, then 2002. I know, it's been a while, I know. And then 2012. Yep. So the first several films we had, of course, Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. Do you believe that Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth can level up to those two?
I think that Hemsworth has the capability to be, because he's going to be our funny man, and I feel like right, Tessa Thompson's going to be the straight man, person. Sorry. Straight woman. Well, and she came out pretty recently and said she hopes that going forward they can have a more inclusive name for the franchise instead of Men in Black and be something more whatever. So I think that Hemsworth has the chops. I think Tessa Thompson very possibly. The only thing I really know her from is from the Marvel movies, and she's kind of second fiddle in those movies. So like I don't know exactly her capabilities. I have high hopes. I really think that she can definitely. She's got the capabilities from what we've seen in Marvel, but that's my only frame of reference. Right. So yeah, I think they can do something on par, but I don't know if they should do the same thing. That's going to be a thing that kills it for me. Is if they're trying to be Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, the movie's not going to work.
Right, and I would agree with that, and also I would look. Let's knock it off with the politically correct stuff here. It is Men in Black. That's what it is, and I that's good enough. I think June is off to a rough start.
Right.
Okay. I'm just going to say it's off to a rough start, and I'm going to be a little bit controversial here. I'm not. You can ask Chase about this. So Hollywood needs to get more diversity of thought.
Yes.
And I think that's why the movies are, they're not hitting. Because if we can get that, we can get some diversity of thought, diversity in scripts, diversity in stories, some more original stuff.
And then the more successful stuff that's happened in the last few months, that like Booksmart is a great example. Yeah. Is a female director, female writer, and didn't make a huge deal about that, but is a funny movie. That's like, yeah, okay, let's get that diversity. That's awesome. But let's not make that the only reason we're watching the movies.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. I think, let's knock it off and get back to making great movies. So that's, we're in the movie business, folks. We're in the movie business. We're professional movie reviewers.
Right.
So that's all I'll say about that for right now. So Men in Black, it had a comic book. It had with 6 issues. It also had an animated cartoon, which I love myself.
Yeah, it was all right. It was a little too trying to be Ghostbusters a little too hard, but it's really interesting because the cartoon is a little bit more like the comic book than the movies were.
Yes.
Because they got into like the paranormal with the cartoon, and that's what the comic book was about. Was more paranormal. Still had aliens and stuff in it too, but it was kind of more of an even mix. The movies have only dealt with aliens, so I think it'll be really interesting if they do interject some of that comic book paranormal side as well.
Yeah, that would be great. And I thought for a time that they wanted to do a crossover with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Am I correct on that? Or
with the cartoon?
No, with Men in Black in general, or was that with something else? I'm probably missing it all together.
There's been a couple of Ninja Turtles crossovers. I don't remember getting wind of anything Men in Black wise, but we have the Ninja Turtles and Batman right now, and then Ninja Turtles has crossed over with Ninja Turtles in like 7 different ways. And then there was a Men in Black 21 Jump Street crossover that was in talks. But nothing as far as the Men in Black and Ninja Turtles, as far as I can remember anyway.
That's true. It was 21 Jump Street, folks. My bad. Thank you, Dustin. So I'm going to ask you one more thing here. Can this movie save June for Hollywood?
June has never been the big month. This is in the world of making movies, June is the end of the spring. So this is kind of the end of the lull in blockbusters speak. The only reason that's been different in recent years is because of Marvel.
Right.
And that's kind of what has kept us afloat, because they've seen summer is when you get your big blockbusters. Summer is when you make your money as far as movie goes, and then again in Christmas about that time, because that's when people spend all the money. So June, I don't know if it's going to save this June. I don't know if until we get a better footing underneath Marvel again, and then a better footing underneath Warner Brothers in general, if June is ever going to be a great month in years coming. It's probably going to be another 3-4 years before we see a solid June. I honestly think this, while I do anticipate this being a good movie, I don't know if it's going to save the month.
Yeah. Wow, that's tough. I mean, what you're saying is Marvel's become the center of the summer block
of the spring blockbuster. We've definitely seen some summer stuff in recent that wasn't Marvel.
Okay.
But and especially before the Marvel hype engine started, 12 years ago, summer started in August. So August is when you started seeing those big crazy blockbusters.
Wow. I was thinking more Memorial Day, but I guess I'm way off.
You had Independence Day was the 4th of July. So yeah, sometimes they've dipped into July, but really it was end of July. August was your bread and potatoes for the summer.
Okay. All right. I can go with that. So let me ask you about Stranger Things.
Okay. Let's talk Stranger Things. What are you asking? Season 3?
We've got the new season coming up.
Right.
What are your thoughts?
I'm kind of super excited about it. I really want to see Millie kind of show more of her acting chops. I want to see all of the kids really show off what they've learned from doing now their 3rd year, technically 4th year, but 3rd actual year of acting and getting into it. I really want to see what the Duffer Brothers have to bring to the expansion of the world, because they've said that this season is really going to be more of an expansion on the world, and we're going to be seeing a lot more of the Upside Down. So I'm super excited about that as well. The little tastes that they've been giving us here and there have been just enough to keep me satiated. I'm super excited about it.
Okay, awesome. I just thought I'd throw that in. We've got a couple more things I want to ask you about while I have you here. There's a lot of rumors going around. Speaking of Marvel, is Galactus going to be the next major villain?
No, I don't believe. I've heard similar things. I think. Well, and the other big buzz about Marvel's next big villain is Green Goblin.
Yeah, I heard that.
They're looking to re-up with Sony. They're re-upping the contract. So that's been a big rumor, is that they want to get a closer tie between Sony and the Marvel Studios. So that makes sense in order to strengthen that bond. And then we might have talked about it here. I know I talked about it on the Nerdy News headlines. They're potentially going to be putting Venom in the next, not Far From Home, but the following SpiderMan movie. They're looking to maybe put Venom in there. There's also a rumor that maybe Deadpool, but I think that's been squashed by a couple of different outlets at this point. So I think Green Goblin makes a little bit more sense on that side of things, but Galactus is a Fox property. And they're, especially after Dark Phoenix, they are staying pretty far away from their Fox properties for a little while, just to kind of wet people's palates, kind of make them, you give them a little bit of nostalgia feeling for the Marvel X-Men properties. And then, so it's probably going to be, I honestly think it's going to be at least 3 years, probably more like 5 years before we see any real X-Men properties in the MCU proper.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm going to ask you two more things. I'm going to ask you real quick about Toy Story 4 and SpiderMan Far From Home.
Toy Story, I'm really interested to see how they're going to break out of, because traditional storytelling, you have a three-story act, or a three-piece act, right? So that's why traditionally Hollywood likes to do trilogies, because you have a beginning, a rising, and a conclusion to your overall story,
right,
which is basic storytelling. Even the movies themselves are three-act movies. You have a beginning, a middle, and a conclusion. So I'm interested to see what Pixar has up their sleeve that's going to refresh it enough that we're going to get something that either makes us want to see another trilogy, or finally give us a resolution, which I thought we kind of got in 3. So that's kind of why I'm super excited about it. I love the Toy Story movies.
Well, if any movie's going to save the summer, I guess it's Toy Story 4.
Might actually be the one. Legit.
Yeah,
Toy Story might be the one.
So, and Spider-Man?
And Spider-Man, I've heard some things that have made me a little apprehensive about Spider-Man. The first of which being that I can't think of the actor kid's name. The kid that's playing Spider-Man.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, thank you. The first of which being that Tom Holland has gone in interviews saying that Mysterio, at least for a good portion of the movie, is like his buddy. Which kind of makes me feel a little bit weird about this movie, because that's never been the case. Right. But the other thing that does have me a little bit more excited than to begin with, so I'm still really straddling the fence on my expectations, is the elementals that we see in the trailers have something to do with the snap. So we know this is post-snap. They're going to address the snap. We know that much for certain. How they address it is what's going to be super exciting, and I really want to know how these elementals come from that snap somehow.
Yeah, interesting. Well, folks, we're about to go see Men in Black International. We're here at the Regal Cinemas, United Artists, Colorado Center 9 and IMAX in beautiful Denver, Colorado. So I'm looking forward to this. This is kind of it's not kinda. It is a reboot. So we'll see what Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson. Oh, thank you. Tessa Thompson.
I like the term Lega sequel. Because it's continuing the story, but it's also it's a soft reboot in a way. I cannot take ownership of that term. I heard it from somewhere else. But Lega sequel, kind of feels right when you're talking about something like this.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, as Chase reminded me, folks, go to Big Show Entertainment Network our Facebook page, YouTube channel, excuse me, and Super Dave Reigns and the Big Show Facebook page. We're going to be giving away 2 FX lightsabers for Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, and all you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the bell, and you're automatically in the contest for 2 FX lightsabers. I think we're going to give away 1 green and 1 red, unless Chase has me change my mind and I go with blue and red, but one of them's going to be red. So that's all we have for Men in Black International. We're about to go see it. You'll get our lightning reaction after the movie. You will get my written review on Super Dave Reigns and the Big Show Facebook page the day after. So for Chase Sexton, for Dustin James, I'm Super Dave Reigns, and until next time, own the love.
We are the Men in Black.
Looks like the tables have turned.